Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like Drinks and Destination, a handy guide to the world of wine, spirits and more, along with a dip into travels around the world.
You're listening to TFG Football.
Hello and welcome everyone. We are hitting the weekend and we are in that mode and zone and everything. But what is one thing that we are looking forward to is the match India versus Nepal. But then there's another thing that's happening on the 7th of June, which what we've learned is that nothing's going to happen even from that. It's a big meeting that's going to happen in Singapore, Kuala Lumpur? No.
Kuala Lumpur.
Now it's come that we got to know earlier that Praful Patel won't be attending. He is the so-called president of AIFF. Should have been there, but he is not. And then we learned that, some of the clubs are going to pull out, the ISL franchises. Well, do we actually look forward to it? I'm not interested in this. Charanjit, what do you want to say about it?
Yeah, well, it's interesting for a few different reasons. First of all, yeah, you're right. Praful Patel should have been there. He's the one who apparently called this meeting, right? Yeah. So that's what the official version says. But I think it was insisted on by Dato Windsor, AFC General Secretary, who was meeting with Praful Patel a few days back. And what happened at meeting was discussed and decided is something the Kolkata clubs, East Bengal and Mohun Bagan, have been asking for the details for a while. And apparently Praful Patel has finally written back to them and told them, okay, this was discussed. And what he basically told them that, it's just supposed to be an open forum where everybody can give their input. That's why the I-League clubs are going to be there. The ISL franchises are supposed to be there. We know that Chennai FC is not going. Atletico de Kolkata doesn't want to go. Kerala Blasters have said they will go, but we are yet to hear from other franchises. But I think, when it comes to participation in such matters, we can expect Pune City, Northeast United, Delhi Dynamos, even Mumbai City to do the right thing and be there. Even FC Goa, because FC Goa need to be in that position. The new owners are just coming into Indian football. They will want to be there and be a part of the process. I expect, other than Chennai FC and Atletico de Kolkata, every ISL franchise to be there. And every I-League club is going to be there. East Bengal and Mohun Bagan were saying we may not go or whatever, but it seems like they pretty much decided they are going to go and they will have that audience. So what Praful Patel said in that letter to East Bengal and Mohun Bagan is that nothing concrete can be decided on that meeting itself.
Okay.
But
is that the reason why he decided to skip it?
Yeah, well, we don't know. But again, we know that he does not make the decisions.
Absolutely.
So IMG Reliance people will be there. AIFF General Secretary Kushal Das will be there. So the people who matter are probably going to be there. So it's why I want this meeting to be a proper get a proper engagement from every stakeholder is because for the first time the AIFF has called FPAI people to a meeting, an official meeting. Remember when FPAI was opposing the ISL draft?
Yeah.
AIFF just released a statement saying we don't recognize FPAI.
Right.
The Football Players Association of India. But they have been called to this meeting. Are they going to get recognition? That will be huge for Indian footballers.
Yeah.
And they will get to talk directly to AFC and FIFA representatives. And a lot of AFC tournament directors will be there. So AFC are coming at this from a very technical angle. They are bringing their experts. They will have a lot to say about how the Indian leagues are run, how ISL is run, how I-League is run, which one should get more preference and what kind of promotion, what kind of regulation and monitoring should be applied to both tournaments. It's also the smaller clubs, the ones with less financial muscle, like Aizawl FC, Shillong Lajong, Chennai City, Minerva Punjab, DSK Shivajians, whoever it may be. They don't get to talk to AFC and FIFA like this.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm very interested to see how they utilize this platform and air their own grievances about this. So we know who wants what. Bengaluru FC have said they will only play in ISL if ISL gets AFC spot, and IMG Reliance desperately want that. Whether it be ISL becomes the new top division or just runs in parallel as a special status cup tournament or whatever it is. There are because East Bengal and Mohun Bagan have not agreed to join ISL. Maybe we will see I-League remain the top division, but then we have the question of who gets the better slot, who gets to use which stadiums and everything. So yeah, it's all up in the air, and a lot of it will be decided, or at least the process will start hopefully
Now,
on 7th. And yeah.
No, I just want to ask you that any updates on if Neroka is joining this meeting, because they've got promoted now to the top division, whatever that would be.
This should be.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually don't have an answer to that. It's a good question.
Okay.
We should find out, in the next few days, whether who's going to be there, whether it's the Mumbai FC representatives or the Neroka representatives.
Okay. Now, Kevin, we heard that what Chiranjeev mentioned a point. What interested me now. And I'm looking forward that they've called FPAI also onto the meeting, and they will be sitting across on the same table as the other stakeholders and representing players. Now, just like he mentioned, we heard how AIFF did not want to say, okay, we don't recognize these organizations, they're just running by their own self. Are you interested now to look forward to what they place points and how they take it ahead, talk on behalf of players?
I think for any meeting to go ahead, you require an agenda. Now, the agenda is it's got a mix. It's got a variety. Now, it's not clubs. It's teams as well. I'm talking about ISL franchisee. They're not clubs as registered under AFC. So AFC is listening to two parties plus the third one that represents the players. So it's going to be a meeting where an agenda is set. Say we want to hear you out and we'll give our points, or it will be the other way around. AFC comes up with a set of statements that this is what we have planned and how do you all see this, because it's not that FIFA and AFC are ready to take in all what the clubs and the teams and the FPAIs want to say and then decide on something, because that is a totally complex process. It will be the other way around. FIFA AFC might say that this is what is being followed in all countries and this is what should be. So you all decide whether you all want to be a part of it or no.
Okay.
Because if you allow clubs and teams and FPAI to dictate or at least say what you want to say, it's going to be a tough process. It's going to be a never-ending meeting, and there's a highly likelihood that it turns into an empty meeting. In fact, for me, I'm more interested in understanding why the meeting was called.
Okay.
If it is having a proposed structure for the Indian football, then it's more likely to be a properly directed meeting. Else it's just going to be just a discussion, like Chiranjit said, it's going to be a forum. If it's going to be a forum, it's it's not heading anywhere. It has to be, at least the agenda has to be clear from FIFA and AFC. Less FIFA and more AFC, because this is more an AFC matter than FIFA matter.
Now, Chiranjit, interesting points made by Kevin. Now, considering, let's just take this into consideration, like this is so and so teams have gone. I mean, whichever names that we mentioned, all the teams are there, from ISL, from I-League, and everyone's there, FPAI, all of them. As you who've been following Indian football to the core, even the off the field, on the field, and you've been studying it closely, what do you see would be the outcome? Or one, what do you see would be the outcome? The other, what do you want the outcome to be like?
Well, the ultimate outcome would be for AFC and FIFA to say, hey, you should have one league and everybody should play on it.
Okay.
But because IMG Reliance want to put their franchisee fee angle above everything else, that is not going to probably happen immediately. So I think what they can max achieve is a truce of how ISL and I-League can run separately for now, unless something miraculous happens and East Bengal and Mohun Bagan and IMG Reliance come to an agreement in the next 3 days before the meeting.
Okay.
You see, actual work has to be done before the meeting. It will not be resolved on the table. It has to be prepared before it goes onto the table. And AIFF General Secretary Kushal Das has hinted that AFC and FIFA may just grant IMG Reliance, like, okay, you run ISL the way you want because you're the commercial partners, you want franchisee fee, fine. But the existing clubs in the I-League should not be, subjected to the same rigorous rules as new teams coming in. Because these guys have already contributed a lot and they have a right to bargain, because the 15 crore number franchisee fee that IMG Reliance puts, it's an arbitrary number. Who comes up with it? What is it based on? Yeah. It's a complete one-sided imposition on teams that only looks out for IMG Reliance's interests. So the teams have the right to bargain. The teams have the right to hold on to their own home grounds. They should not be asked to leave their city because it does not make commercial sense for anybody. So all those things may be decided. So maybe East Bengal, Mohun Bagan and others, other I-League clubs may be given a better deal to come into the ISL straight away, or they may work out a deal where everybody benefits financially somehow from the central revenues pool to keep ISL and I-League apart for the next 2-3 years before all these contracts and one city, one rule bullshit goes out of the way, and you can just have a proper merger in the 2020 to 21 season. So yeah, it's going to be either of those, and it will be followed by 2-3 weeks of deliberation before we have a final resolution. But do not expect something very concrete to come out of this. It will still be up for some debate.
Okay. Kevin, on the same page, what do you want? What are you expecting from this?
My most likely conclusion is that it will go ahead as it was been going for the past 2-3 years since ISL began.
Okay.
But it might not run parallelly again. So the main problem here is the 2017 World Cup that's happening in India. So that might just change and just throw the schedule out of the window. So probably we'll see another last 1 or 2 seasons of ISL, and then again down 3 years we'll see again the actual merger.
And some more meetings before that happens, right? Chiranjit, any parting thoughts? Quick ones.
Well, quickly, I just hope AFC and FIFA watch out for the global interests and the developmental interests in India rather than anyone's immediate commercial interests, because football is supposed to be a game that delivers in the long run, in the next 20-30 years, not in the next 5 years.
Great. That's a great note to end, I guess. And since we're running short of time, we will be ending it here, and hope you had... I think we gave you a good, our point of view and how does this look out. We will definitely talk about it in detail when the day arrives. And before that, as I said, what we have to look forward for is the India versus Nepal match. We shall also talk about that. Now, enjoy the weekend. Come back to us, refresh yourself. Come back to us on Monday and we'll talk about more about Indian football. Now, if you're listening to our show on YouTube, hit the like, share, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon so you get updates of our new episode. You can also listen to our show on Audioboom, SoundCloud, iTunes, and ways the podcasting apps. Catch us on Twitter, Boza_Kevin, Chiranjit Oja, Siju Matthew 94. Read about all that you want to know about Indian football on our website, thefangarage.com. Have a great day, guys. Cheers.
एक्सक्यूज मी भैया, एक्सक्यूज मी.
बोलिए मैडम.
मेन्यू में क्या है?
मेन्यू में सीन अनसीन है, पॉडकास्ट है, ऑन कोर्स है, साइरस है, मेड इन इंडिया, रीडिस्कवरी प्रोजेक्ट, एम्पावरिंग सीरीज, सेक्स वैक्स है, IVM लाइक्स है, सिंप्लीफाइड है, कीपिंग इट क्वियर है, ड्रिंक्स एंड डेस्टिनेशंस है, माय नेबर सकरबर्ग है और द फैन गराज है. आपको क्या चाहिए?
एक बार रिपीट कर देंगे क्या?
रिपीट नहीं करता हम. आप जाओ IVMpodcast.com पे और सुनो ये सब, या फिर डाउनलोड करो उनका ऐप, सब आपकी उंगलियों पे.